Good day once again. Our demonstration this time would focus on the so-called infrared receiver and transmitter. This is a very common device that could be found on our TV remote system and other appliances that make use of a remote control. This system has a limited distance of operation. That's why it is commonly used and found in remote controls. Here is the transcript that will give you additional information about the infrared receiver and transmitter. I would like to remove the transcript and I would like to show to you how to check the condition of an infrared receiver and transmitter. Here are some of the example of an infrared transmitter. You will notice that it has a built-in amplifier at the bottom of the circuit board, and on top is a black element, this one, which is the infrared receiver. Most of these devices are covered in opaque format or materials that has a color of black. Another example, it seems like it's look like a transistor. Here we have two terminals. Again, two terminals. And this one, it has three terminals. Here is another example of a very common one. It has a built-in infrared transmitter using a special diode known as the infrared light emitting diode, and a receiver on the other side that could be either a photodiode or IR diode or an IR transistor. Okay, so here are some other boards that make use of the principles of IR. You have the micro switch, the switching circuit, the receiver transmitter, and another setup here, a diode, and the black one is the transmitter and receiver. These are the common circuit that could be found in our joysticks. Okay, this time I would like to show to you how to test the condition of an infrared device using this sample. In this sample, there is a symbol of a diode here, and on the other side is the receiver. The one which has a diode sign here is the transmitting IR or infrared, and on the other side here, found on the inner portion, is the receiving one. I would like to connect an ohmmeter to this part that is being monitored on this meter. The process is the infrared LED should radiate infrared so that it can be received on the other side. So we will apply a forward bias here, and we will try to take a look what will happen on the reading on this side. Okay, I'll be making use of the analog meter on this side set to R times 1 and the other side is set to R times 10. Here we have the symbol of a diode, and I'd like to apply a forward bias. So the leftmost meter indicates movement, simply shows that the diode or the device that has a symbol of a diode is now in a forward bias. The rightmost meter also indicates a deflection, meaning the device found on this side also conducts. Okay, so every time we apply forward bias on this side, it radiates infrared lights towards this device. Okay, the visible light or the non-visible light cannot be visible, of course, from here up to here. So the radiation of the IR LED cannot be visible at this time. Notice that the receiving side has only two terminals. So it could be a IR diode or an IR transistor. But most of the time, it makes use of an IR transistor. I'd like to reverse the polarity on this side to check whether and to confirm that the device on this side is really a semiconductor device, either a photodiode or IR diode or an IR transistor. In some instances, it could be an LDR or light dependent resistor. So again, we will try to apply a forward bias on the diode here. The leftmost meter indicates deflection, a forward bias on this IR diode. But the rightmost meter does not indicate readings or movement of the pointer, meaning the device here is not in a conduction mode. Again, we will try to reverse the connection. Then again, we will apply a forward bias here. There you are. Both pointers move forward, indicating that both device is now in a forward bias. Notice that the light cannot be seen since it belongs to a higher category at around 740 to 760 nanometers in wavelength. So this is a so-called infrared transmitter and an infrared receiver. We just demonstrated to you how to check the condition of an infrared transmitter and a receiver using two analog meters. Thank you.